are constantly being joined by worried family members right here on the broadcast on whose kids, whose children are still stranded in Ukraine. One such mother joins me from here in India, and she is Farzana, who is joining me on the broadcast, and she is in fact live with me from Saudi Arabia. She worries because her child is still stuck in Ukraine. Farzana, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. Just tell us
Thank
about
you.
when is the last time you have spoken to your child?
I spoke to him about 9 p.m. last evening. His mobile was like completely charged off. So he used one of his friends, and then he told me that they've reached the shelter. It was dark. I mean, they had probably shut down the electricity because for safety reasons, of course. And
Mm-hmm.
they were like cold and stuff. But they told me that there was pretty good arrangement for sleeping. They had blankets and they had mattresses laid. They were, I mean, the whole thing is that they were ready for the children. That was a little, um, it just gave a little solace. Okay, all fine. After the cold day, they were at ease in the night. So after that, there was no contact, probably because the batteries are not charged. So just waiting now. I spoke to one of his friends though, and he gave me the information that, they were ready for the children.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay, Farzana, let me take our viewers through what exactly is happening here. Farzana is joining me from Saudi Arabia. Her son is stuck in Ukraine. Of course, she's completely anxious about him because 9 p.m. is when you last spoke to him, right, Farzana? And here we're talking about him being in Kharkiv, or he has moved on to a closer location, which is closer to the border.
No, he's still in Kharkiv, but after the advisory that came yesterday from the government to shift to one of those three destinations, they all walked to Pesochin. It's a place called Pesochin. So I assume there should be around somewhere roughly around 500 to 600 students over there. I'm not
When
very
it comes
sure
to the
about the
government of
figures.
Saudi Arabia, what are you hearing when it comes to the evacuation process? Because here in the country, we are ensuring that more and more Indian citizens continue to return, to the homeland and return and meet with their families. But what is the situation like when it comes to the evacuees who are arriving in Saudi Arabia? And what is the felicitation and what is the government really doing to help with that evacuation process?
To be very honest, I have no clue. I just have read a few things in the newspaper saying that even the Saudi government has urged all their citizens to come back and as soon as possible from Ukraine. So I really have not much idea. I had no time to think about anything else other than my child there and so many other students were stuck with him. So I honestly have no idea.
Absolutely. Farzana, do you have family in India right now?
Yeah, I do have family in India. I've got cousins and uncles and aunts. So yeah, I do have.
So is it possible that your son Taha can probably return to India and then, his travel can be facilitated to Saudi Arabia? Are you also looking at an option like this?
Yes, that's exactly the option that I'm looking for because he's still an Indian citizen. So um, he probably will get evacuated with them to India. And then
Okay. And
wherever the
when
flights
he
are going
spoke to you last, what is the kind of situation that he explained to you when he was still in Kharkiv? Because obviously we are getting some very, very worrying statistics, and we want to ensure that nothing of the report goes on air without we really fact checking it, because obviously it concerns worrying parents like yourself.
Kharkiv, even when they were in the station yesterday, there were shellings around, and then when they were asked to leave and reach that certain destination at a certain time, they walked out. Then they saw, I mean, I don't know whether it was a shelling or whatever, they saw it right in front of their eyes, and they were really scared, all of the children. And they had to stay back, and the army, like, they stopped them for a while. They just calmed them down, and then they said, yeah, you can go forward on your onward journey. So it's not good. It's not at all good. It's really dangerous over there. There were few students who were stuck in the station. They were not able to come out. They were in the bunkers under the station. Poor kids, amidst all those sounds of bombs and stuff, they were stuck over there. But I'm told that they did leave in the train later in the night. They were allowed to board.
Mhm. Also, how open is the communication channel when it comes to the families and the embassies, respective embassies in Ukraine? Are you able to contact either the Saudi Arabian embassy or even the Indian embassy for that matter?
Look, I'm getting all kinds of mixed reviews on this. There are people who say, okay, they've reacted to it and they've come for rescue. In the morning, I've joined a channel, the SOS channel in India. So over there are people who are saying, okay, yeah, the government, I mean, the MSC people, they arrange for buses for children to move from Lviv to whichever border they wanted to. In some other areas, they say that there's no response at all. No one answers the call. So I really don't know what exactly is the scenario. Place they are, of course. I mean, especially
Right,
once
Farzana,
they
I can
cross the
understand
border.
what is the situation and what must you be going through. Yes, yes. Just
Especially after
stay
they've
put,
crossed the
and we will
borders.
ensure that we do something so that your son is brought back and brought back to you safely. And this is a story that we'll ensure that we put forth to the Ministry of External Affairs also, so that a cognizance is taken and Taha is brought back to you in all safety, and all other children as well who are still
Yeah,
stranded in
all
Ukraine.
the children
Farzana,
they
take care
took
of
from
yourself,
that
and thank you
place.
so much for joining me on Mirror Now.
Yeah.